Hello and welcome to another episode of Wednesdays with W. This is episode number 38, and in keeping with the trend, I'm trying to get people in the fraternity of cricket with different skill set and of different domains. In today's episode, I'm going to host Sundaram Ravi, a former ICC panel umpire, and of course, he was a contemporary in our junior days of cricket. He's gone on to carve a niche for himself, and of late, he's been helping the umpires of the BCCI panel to improve upon their skill sets and also guide them in the hope that they'll all go on to make it to the ICC elite panel in the future. It's my pleasure to present to you Sundaram Ravi, who's been an ICC panel umpire and who's acquitted himself extraordinarily well. But much before that, he was my contemporary. We all played a lot of cricket during our school days for and against each other. And he was a very competitive cricketer, but more pragmatic than I was because he chose his career path in a different manner very soon in his life. Welcome, Ravi. All well?
Thanks, Raman. All good, all good. Thank you.
Okay, now let's go back to your early days as a cricketer. Yes, you enjoyed the game, you played the game. At what stage did you feel that, yes, I've played this game, I've enjoyed this game, it's time to branch out?
Um, See, I started playing this game at a very young age. As you mentioned in your opening remark, that played schools, college cricket, universities, and senior division cricket. And after a certain stage where I came to know that, okay, I cannot make it big as a player. And I could not leave this game because I started at a very young age. I wanted to somehow keep in touch with the game. And I thought umpiring was the best option, best available option at that time. And I just started umpiring and I moved up in the ladder by God's grace.
But how difficult was it to balance your career because you are working in the Reserve Bank of India and also your cricketing activities and involvement?
Um, I was not a professional cricketer. We used to play only a league cricket during weekends when we started playing league matches. When it was only 1 day game and it became a 2 day game, then it was changed to a 3 day format. So, yes, initially I could not officiate the senior division league matches because I was actively playing. Once a Reserve Bank team was relegated from the senior division to the lower division, second, third. Then I started focusing on my umpiring more, and I got more opportunities as an umpire at the senior division level. Then I started umpiring Buchi Babu. Then I became a BCCI panel umpire, started umpiring Ranji Trophy, and just progressed from there.
Okay, this is something that you would have come across. You can't say you did not. What kind of resistance levels did you find the cricketer getting into umpiring? There would have been some resistance there.
Uh, can you be more specific about the question?
No, because generally in those days there was not this kind of encouragement given to former cricketers turning into umpires. There were
Okay.
guys who were passionate who became umpires by writing exams. So a bit of insecurity would have met with some resistance about cricketers getting in.
Not really. Actually, my pathway was very clear, and there was no hurdle as such. Because we were just umpiring league matches in Chennai to start with, then moved on to BCCI. And at BCCI level at that time also we had a lot of past cricketers who took up to umpiring. So there was no hurdle as such. There was no roadblock as such.
Okay, let me go to the other side of the spectrum now. What kind of an advantage did you have as one who played the game when you got into umpiring?
Massive, massive advantage. You will be able to read the game much better than a guy who hasn't played the game, right? I'm not saying that all cricketers will be good umpires and all non-cricketers will not be good umpires. But if you have played the game, it's a massive advantage for you because you will be able to read the game much better than the guys who have not played the game. That will put you in a better position to perform well. get the decisions right. You will know which way the game is moving, and what a certain player is going to do. What is that you can expect from a certain team or teams or players. You know that will keep you in a better position to handle those situations, because that yes, this is the way the game is going.
How mentally sapping can a game of umpiring be?
Oh, I mean, test matches are grinding. It's not easy to umpire test matches. That is why it is called test cricket. Okay, it's just like how difficult it is to play test matches. It is the same difficulty level when you are umpiring a test match, especially in subcontinent, especially with the wear and tear of the pitches and spinner friendly pitches. It's all the more difficult to umpire test matches, and with the technology, you cannot escape. It's really zapping, and mentally it will be it could be very tiresome.
Okay, now you've spoken about subcontinental pitches. Given a choice of umpiring on seaming tracks and turning tracks, what would your preference be?
Any day, I would like to umpire in England, Australia, South Africa, and New Zealand, not India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh.
Now, just elaborate for the benefit of the viewers. What makes you say that? I know why you're saying it.
Correct. See, if you are umpiring a test match, Ashes in England, you're going to hardly get 3-4 appeals in a day, and the pitches are very true and good carry, good bounce. Yes, there'll be a lot of swing, but in subcontinent pitches, there'll be majority, 95% of the overs are going to be bowled by the spinners, and the odd ball will turn, odd ball will go straight, and it is not practically possible to get every decision right with the available technology, with ball tracking. It's not easy to get every decision right. And once you get a couple of decisions wrong early in a test match, that can put you off, and your confidence can be slightly low for that test match, and it will become a very, very long test match. 15 sessions, you can understand, it becomes very tough. Whereas in England, the appeals are very less, and the pitches are very true. England or Australia or New Zealand, South Africa. Yes, you need to take into consideration the swing, and in Australia and South Africa, the bounce. Otherwise, it's much more easier to umpire in those places than in subcontinent.
Okay, presume that there is no DRS, there's no technology involved. Real time, you have to take decisions. What is the toughest decision for an umpire? Is it the leg before, no ball, or run out, or stumping?
Every decision is tough. No decision is easy. If it is that easy, then everybody would have become an elite panel umpire, isn't it? Why do we have only 12 elite panel umpires, and each test playing nation has only 4 umpires on their international panel? No decision is easy. But see, if you take a game of cricket, a test match, 75-80% of the appeals are for LBWs. Okay, so the LBWs are the toughest ones to judge. Yes, no balls, now that we use technology for auto no ball. Earlier, when we were not using technology for auto no ball, yes, we used to miss a few no balls, but that was only 1% of the game. Okay, it did not affect much, whereas getting the LBW right is very important, and that's the very tough decision to get it right all the time.
Now again, we talk about working in partnership, team game, teamwork. It's teamwork in umpiring as well, isn't it? Even if it's only 2 on the field or one more third umpire, it's teamwork, isn't it? How important it is to be a good team player.
Absolutely. You need the support of your colleagues. That's why we call it PCT, playing control team. And now, in IPL games or in any international game, that there are 4 umpires and 1 match referee. They form part of that PCT. And when someone is having a tough day, an off day or a bad day on the field, the whole team will rally around him and support him and give him confidence so that he goes to the next day or next match of the series in a better frame of mind to perform better. It's absolutely paramount for the team to rally around, support, and encourage your colleague. Otherwise, it's going to be a tough job.
Now, how lonely is an umpire's job? Is it lonely at all?
Yes, sometimes, I won't say um, all the time, but sometimes it is very lonely, and you have to deal with your mind. If you get an error and you have to reverse it in front of thousands and thousands of spectators and millions of TV viewers, you feel bad. It hurts your pride. It hurts your ego, isn't it? Why did I give out? Why did I not? There will be a constant fight inside your head when you give out, and it turns out to be a not out. Then your mind starts fighting, your left brain and right brain, it starts fighting. Why did you give out? No, you could have gone with your gut feel. All sorts of thoughts will come, and we will keep thinking about the error which we made instead of focusing on the next ball. That is where you need to stay strong. Okay, I'm not going to think about what has happened. I'm just going to focus on the next ball. I can revisit this error after this game and learn from that error and move on. That is where you need the support of, firstly, you should be mentally strong. And secondly, you need the support of the other umpires and match referee, who can give you confidence that, okay, it has happened. You can't do anything about it. You can't go back. It's not a computer where it's all control delete whatever it is, all control delete. No, it has happened, and every umpire will make mistakes. There is no umpire in the world who can say that I've never made a mistake. See, umpiring is a profession where mistakes will happen. It is bound to happen. Okay, and people will talk about those errors. Players will talk about those mistakes, but you need to stay strong. You need to move away from that, learn from that error and move away from it, and try to perform or not to repeat the same error. Yes, one odd error, 150-50 decision is fine. And once you are established as a good umpire, the players also understand that, yes, okay, this odd error is going to occur. That is why we have technology to fix those errors, isn't it?
In all, 113 international appearances across formats, 33 test matches, 48 ODIs, 7 women internationals, and the remaining being the T20Is. You think you could have notched up a lot more numbers than that?
Yes and no. Again, it's a very tough question. We are always wise after the event, so to say. If I have to go back and umpire again, maybe I would have done 70, 80 test matches and 100 ODIs. What all I did, which I should not have done at that point in time, now I realize. Okay, that is the very reason why I have started training umpires now, because I know, I've walked that path, and I want to tell my umpires that do this, don't do this. Okay, this is what happened to me. A lot of things happened which I cannot tell you. Yeah,
Ravi, confidence is very important for an umpire, isn't it?
absolutely. Once you lose confidence, what will happen is you will start guessing. Okay, once you start guessing, then more often than not, your decisions might be wrong. So you need to have a lot of confidence, and that is the reason why we keep saying that don't worry about the errors which you have made, because you cannot go back and rectify it. You cannot go back and correct it. See, just forget it and watch the next ball. The next ball is we keep telling ourselves that next ball is the most important ball. Next ball is the most important ball. Focus on the next ball. Okay, stay strong, make the decision. Go with your gut feel. That's what every umpire will be telling to himself.
You need to be firm, because it's no point being friendly all the time. At times you need to be firm. Like there was one incident I remember very well in IPL, wasn't it? 2009, was it? Brendan McCullum and you had a bit of a discussion, and then you stood your ground, and that made people notice you for your confidence in the laws that you know, and also in being firm.
Absolutely. When you are conducting a game of cricket, especially at that level, be it IPL or international or a T20I or ODI or a test match Ashes, you have to be strong, and you need to. I'm not saying that you should be too officious or like a policeman. No, but you should be having a cordial relationship with the players, captains, coaches, and other stakeholders. At the same time, when they are about to cross the line, you have to be firm and tell them that I'm sorry, this is not on, and you need to tell them that if you do this, these are all the consequences which you might have to face. I've always been very firm. Sometimes over firm, I can say, but it worked for me. It worked for me. It's better to be a firm than, if you are a soft umpire, I don't think even the players will respect you. When you're firm, the players may not like you at that point in time when the game is happening, because you're stopping them from doing something. But after the game, they will realize that, okay, this guy is a strong umpire. He's a hard nut to crack. We can't do anything with this guy. You have played the game um, at the highest level. Every player, does that. He will try to put pressure on the umpires, the captains, the players, the coaches, or the support staff. They always try to push the boundary, isn't it? See, that is where we need to stay strong, stay firm, and conduct the match within the framework of. I'm not saying that we cannot conduct the match according to the letter of the law, but within the boundaries, within the guidelines, within the framework, we need to have a smooth conduct, isn't it?
Decision making is another important attribute when you're umpiring. Have there been any occasion or occasions where you felt you are dithering, you are indecisive?
I mean, it happens sometimes, you know, oh, should I give this one out? Should I not give this one out? Should I do this? Should I not do this? As I earlier mentioned in the chat, that sometimes, is it going down? Is it hitting leg stump? Especially, after we have started playing with this ball tracking technology, the margin for error for an umpire is millimeters. It's just millimeters. Sometimes, you get it right. Sometimes, you get it wrong. Yes, we all have that, the mind, it will keep shifting from this side to that side. Give this one out. Don't give this one out. So you need to go with your gut feel and, stay strong and make the decision by going with your gut, which will invariably, you will be making the right decision. Most of the occasions, I would say, yes, it's not that you're going to get every decision right. There will be errors, there will be mistakes, you can't help it. But, as an umpire, you are expected to give some consistent high performances. That is what the players expect. The players also know that errors will happen. Okay, that is the reason why we have technology. Otherwise, what's the point in having technology, isn't it? We all know, just like how the players make mistakes on the field of play, the umpires also make mistakes. And imagine, how can we compete with, in IPL, I think there are about 35, 36 cameras. How can you compete with 36 cameras? Is it humanly possible? It is not. And the frame rates of each camera is, the ultra slow mo camera is 1000 frames per second. The hockey camera frame rate is 340 frames per second. Whereas with your naked eye, you can't get everything right. And with the crowd noise, sometimes you will not hear the chord begins, the faint nicks, the bad pads. Sometimes when they see it in slow motion, the viewers will think that, oh, it was a massive edge. But they don't realize the fact that the ball was bowled at 140 kilometers per hour, and the time for an umpire is fraction of a second.
Technology is gradually coming into play a lot more than it was before. Is there a feeling among umpires that it might, at some point in time, almost minimize the role of an umpire?
Um, I mean, now at the highest level, there is a fear factor that the technology might take over completely. I don't know whether it is good for the game or not good for the game. Only time will tell. Now that we have started using the technology, see, when the technology was used for the first time in early 90s, it was used only for run out and stumping line calls. Slowly, we started using it for run out, stumping, bold. Okay. Then we followed it with hot decisions. Then we followed it up with DRS. Now we are checking the no balls. If you take IPL, we have started checking everything. There is not a single decision of an umpire which cannot be checked in this IPL, isn't it? I mean, do the players want it that way, or do they want the human element also to be involved in the game? That is for the administrators and players to take a call.
Exactly. You spoke two words there, which is very, very important: the human element. Do you want to see sport absolutely devoid of human element?
No, the game, for me, this is my personal opinion. For the game to survive, we should always have that human element, and errors should happen, errors should occur. Then only this game will thrive, survive, and it will be more widely followed. Okay, there should be something for W.E. Raman as a commentator to talk. If there is nothing to talk, I mean, you and I will lose our jobs, isn't it? There is no umpire, there's no commentator, nothing is happening here. Everything is, it becomes very mechanical, isn't it? Okay, you can put a machine there behind the stumps. Yes,
Yeah.
no, out, not out. Okay. Then, the game loses its charm, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. Even I agree with your viewpoint. Now, let's talk about the challenges of different formats. Knowing a little bit of cricket, I tend to think that Test cricket, the umpires have to retain their focus for a longer time because it can get boring at times and not much of action is taking place. One days is a question of intensity being maintained because it also can just be a bit flat and monotonous. T20, it's always action packed. You'll have to be thinking on your feet. Now, what are the pitfalls that you tend to fall in each and every format?
I mean, every format has its own challenges, isn't it? As you rightly mentioned, that T20 game is so fast paced, and now that we have technology, otherwise, even one wide 150-50 call will be highlighted, or they might make it a big issue out of it. And one day games, yes, um, there won't be many appeals, but it has got its own challenges. One full day, 50-50, 100 overs, you need to maintain your focus, concentration, and make the decisions. And the 12-8 period, you need to manage, now most of or in fact, I have not seen a day ODI game. It's all day-night games, from changing from daylight to the floodlights. That period is slightly tough. The ball gets older, the reverse swings, and all those things happen. And as you said, test matches, it's the toughest format to officiate because it's long, 5 days, 15 sessions. It's grinding and wear and tear of the pitch. You need to maintain your focus for longer period of time. And see, if you make an error on day one, you have to sleep with that error, get up fresh the next morning, forget what happened on the previous day, and start afresh, day after day after day after day, session after session after session. It's very tough. It's not easy.
Umpires have been generally criticized a lot. since this game started? There must have been occasions where cricketers would have come and praised you for certain decisions you made.
Uh, yes, very few occasions, I would say. Because, see, the players think, or their mindset is such that um, you're not you're not there to make an error, especially in our part of the world. It is a sin to make an error on the field of play. They don't understand that we are all human beings. We will all make mistakes. Yes, a few occasions, players have come and they have told me that yes, excellent decision. In fact, in one of the test match in Christchurch, Kane Williamson, he came to me and he appreciated me for a couple of good LBW decisions which I gave. Similarly, Steve Smith, Sri Lanka versus Australia series. After the series, he told me that your decision making was spot on, Ravi. Excellent decision making, and you had a good series. Which was really nice to hear.
Now you are helping a lot of aspiring umpires and also the umpires in the system to try and scale the ladder. If a guy comes up to you and says, "Sir, how do I go about becoming an umpire?" What are the things that he needs to do?
Um, I mean, if he is a past cricketer, he has a massive advantage over the guys who haven't played the game. Again, I'm not saying that all cricketers would be good umpires and all non-cricketers will not. No, not that way. But they have an advantage, and they have, see, in our system, they have to be patient. Okay, it's not like England or Australia where the number of umpires are less and they can go up in the ladder.
Quickly, Ravi, where do they start? How do they start?
They start? They have to start at the state level. See, now BCCI, they have called for an umpires examination, which is going to happen on 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 4 days. And they have called the past cricketers. So for the past cricketers, there is a separate channel. They can straight away get into the BCCI panel of umpires. Those who have played 10 or more games, they can appear for that. Each association can nominate 5 past cricketers and they can appear for the BCCI examination and they can start umpiring BCCI matches. Whereas for others, they have to start at the state level and move up gradually. Okay, once you become a BCCI panel umpire, then you need to work your way through by showing a lot of good, solid, consistent performances. And as you know, all BCCI matches are covered with 6 cameras, and you have a referee, you have captain's report, and consistent high performance will make that umpire move up in the ladder quickly. And if you are a cricketer, I think there is a separate channel to fast track them.
At the elite level, ICC, there are certain things that you need to do before getting there. And there's also a level prior to that. Just give us an understanding of those 2 levels.
Okay. See, in ICC, the highest level is elite level, where you have 12 umpires. Okay. One level below is that there is an emerging panel of umpires. This year, ICC has identified 5 umpires from the Test Playing Nations International Panel of Umpires. 5 emerging panel umpires have been identified. And below that, you have each Test Playing Nation. There will be 4 umpires who can be nominated to the International Panel of Umpires, to ICC. And now one level below, I would say that it's not written in any stone, the IPL. See, now IPL has become the stage for the umpires to showcase their skill sets. Okay, from there, if they do well, I saw a lot of umpires, young umpires doing well in this IPL. And if they keep doing well, they will be considered for international panel. On international panel, if you keep doing well, you will be nominated for emerging. And if you keep doing well there, you could be nominated for the elite panel of umpires, which is the pinnacle of umpiring.
There are changes made constantly as far as laws of cricket is concerned. The latest one, soft signal being removed. What's your
Okay.
take on it?
I mean, soft signal, last 2 years, if you see international cricket, the ICC had instructed the TV umpires not to go with the soft signal, but to make the decision based on the available footage. Okay, make your own decision. Don't rely on the soft signal. The soft signal, you can rely on the soft signal or use the soft signal only when there is no footage available or the footage is of such a poor quality. Okay, so last 2 years, if you see the catches, the umpires, the TV umpires had already moved away from the soft signal. It was just there for the sake. Now it's official that there is no soft signal. There is more responsibility, or I would say that the third umpires will have to be more stronger in making the decision by either by going one way or the other way. Now they cannot say that it is inconclusive, so I am staying with the soft. That option is removed. So earlier we had three options. Now one option has been removed. Now there are only two options. Either you give out or you give not out. If you see, or if you're convinced, if you are satisfied, yes, the ball clearly carried, you give it out. Or if you are not satisfied and if you are convinced, yes, the ball touched the ground, you have to give not out. So you choose this or that based on the available footage. And for elite umpires, they have been doing this on a regular basis. Whereas for the lower rung of the umpires, they need to see a lot of catches and which are all the angles which they need to see, and how to sell a decision which they have to practice. Because any close catch, there'll be varied opinions. If you have 2-3 commentators, one would say that yes, it carried, the other one would be saying that no, it didn't carry, the third one would be sitting on the wall. So any close catch decision is going to be debated. The team where it went in favor of one team, they will say yes, the right decision was made, whereas the other team might say that no, this should have been given not out, this should have been given out. Okay, it's all part and parcel of umpiring and the game on the whole, isn't it?
Of all the changes made with regard to the laws of the game, does it occur to you that some of the changes have helped the umpires or it is not?
No, definitely. It has helped. Most of the changes have helped the umpires in the smooth conduct of the game, in decision making, using technology. We cannot point out a single change where no, it's not helpful to umpires. I think the administrators take a holistic view of is it good for the game, is it good for the players, is it good for match officiating, how can we there's a lot of thought process which goes behind the scene before any change is being made. As you know, the cricket committee consists of a lot of former icon players and greats of the game, and they give a serious thought about it before bringing in any change. And we have in cricket committee, there is an umpire representative, there is a referee representative, there is an administrator. It's a combination of every aspect of the game where they make the changes.
It may not seem very obvious or it may be overlooked. Talk to us about the fitness that's required for an umpire.
Absolutely. You need to be really fit, especially, imagine if you are doing a test match in India or Sri Lanka, you have played in every country where cricket is being played. You need to be really fit. Otherwise, what will happen? Your concentration levels will drop and the errors will start creeping in. You need to hydrate yourself. You need to be really fit. You need to be, yes, you may say that we are not going to run and look for runouts or other decisions. Now all we do is this, the technology, but still, only if you stay fit, you can have a clear mind and the concentration levels and the focus so that you can get the decisions right. It's absolutely important. If you look at the elite umpires, they are really fit, you know, they are really fit because they have to stand for long hours. And imagine umpiring standing for 100 days is not going to be easy. And that too in different conditions. One match you'll be umpiring in England, and the next series could be in Sri Lanka. You need to adjust, adapt to different weather conditions. So you need to be really fit.
Has it made you homesick being on the road? Because I've heard of one umpire, the moment he checks into a hotel, he would always count down. Is what I've heard about one particular umpire. I don't want to name it.
Yes, sometimes, on long tours, like if you take IPL, it's a 2-month tournament. Sometimes, you need a break, isn't it? You need to go back, rejuvenate yourself, and, then hit the road again. Sometimes, but again, you're more focused in what you're going to do, your performance, your umpiring, you're looking forward to the game or tournament or series or whatever it is. So not always, sometimes, yes.
On a scale of 1 to 10, where would you put recommending umpiring as a career option?
Um, I would say 8, 9. Now it's really a good avenue for the not only the past cricketers, others also to take up umpiring as a full-time profession, because you look at the number of games which BCCI is conducting every year. See, earlier we used to have 27 teams and something. Now it is 37 teams plus the women's games have come into the main fold. We have WPL, we have IPL, and when we started IPL, it was 8 teams. Now it is 10 teams. It is 74 games. In 2-3 years' time, it will be 94, 98 games. And there are leagues all around the world. If you see South Africa, there is SA20, then IL20. Now USA is going to do major leagues, and you have Caribbean Premier League and BBL, Bangladesh, Pakistan. So there are plenty of opportunities for the umpires to, make it as a or take it up as a full-time profession. It's a great opportunity for those who love the game, who have played the game, who have the passion, who have the interest, and of course, you need to have that skill set.
Venkatraghavan recommended that I take up umpiring in the year 2000. I said, no, sir, not for me, because I can get easily bored. Because in a 4-day game or a 5-day game, there are patches of play which are not really action packed. So I might make an ass of myself, is what my view. That's why I'm not going to get into umpiring. Similarly, if you were to ask aspiring umpires to shed a couple of qualities or improve upon a couple of qualities, what would they be?
I mean, I would say that, you need to be patient. You need to be patient. See, you can't expect to do IPL as soon as you become a BCCI panel umpire. It takes time. So you need to be patient and keep doing the right things. Being patient is not doing and sitting. No, it's not that. Keep doing the right things. Wait for the opportunity. Wait for the opportunity. Once the opportunity comes to you, grab it with both hands. So patience is very, very important. You should not. Sometimes I've seen a lot of these umpires, they get frustrated because, they feel that their performance is not being recognized. Okay. I've read Steve Waugh's book, right? He says everybody will get one opportunity, and how well you use that opportunity is the most important thing. Okay. So every umpire, every sportsman, every sportsperson will get an opportunity to showcase his skill sets. And you have to be ready and grab it with both hands and show your entire skill set so that, you go up and, reach the highest level of umpiring, which is elite.
Any requests or recommendations for the cricketers so that the working relationship will be far better between umpires and cricketers?
I mean, now after this technology which started, coming into the game, the relationship with the players is very, very cordial, I would say, because they don't talk about the errors, because the errors get fixed then and there, the game moves on. And we have the code of conduct document. There is match referee. The punishment is stringent. They will lose a lot of money if they don't, behave properly. So, I mean, they should understand that the umpires are also human beings and there will be errors. They need to accept it, take it in the stride, and that acceptance level, yes, they do have that. I'm not saying that they don't have, but sometimes in the heat of the moment, when things are not going in their way, their emotions take over. That is when you need to control your emotions and view it dispassionately. Then you get a better picture of the situation.
Talking of acceptance and learning, I know Siva Ravi was one such person because there was one game where I was playing, he was umpiring. I remarked to him about a decision that could have been the other way around. He remarked that yes, it was probably a mistake and he would look into it in the following games. So that is what took him to where he went. Thanks, Ravi, for your time and also for sharing
Thank
your
you, Ram.
views.
Nice chatting to you. Thank you very much.
It was great chatting to you.
Thank you
Take
very
care.
much.
I'll catch up with you soon. Maybe on the golf course.
Or TNPL.
Okay, somewhere along the lines. Thanks a
I'm
lot.
going to be there for all the games.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to help the umpires because first time they're going to have DRS, and
Oh,
most of
excellent.
the yeah, all 33, 32 games we are going to have DRS, and some of the Tamil Nadu umpires have not done DRS before, so I'm going to be there for all the games and just guide them, support them.
Thank you, Ravi. Take
Right,
care.
see you, Ram. Bye. Take care. Bye.
Bye. That was Siva Ravi sharing his views about all aspects of umpiring and things that go along with umpiring. Normally, it's thought of as an easy job, but after listening to Siva Ravi about the challenges and the various things that are needed to excel as an umpire, you would perhaps change your views about umpiring. And as I always say, for those who joined us for the first time, press the subscribe button and also the like button, and also ensure that you get notifications by pressing on the bell as well. And for those who've been with us all through our journey, please keep your feedback coming in because we need to know what it is that you want us to put out for you in the future episodes. Until I catch up with you next time, be good and stay safe.